this video, I'm going to review pages 1 through 5 of the syllabus. It might be helpful to have a copy of the syllabus in front of you while you're watching this video, so it'll make it easier for you to follow along. Okay, so we're going to start with the course description. And while I'm reviewing the syllabus, I'm going to skip over some parts because I'd like to keep this video as short as possible. Research shows that videos that go above 15 minutes, it's just hard for us to remember information from videos that are that long. So I'm going to try to keep this video short, and that's why this video will focus on pages 1 through 5, and then there is a part 2 of a syllabus review that will focus on pages 6 to 11. So let's take a look at the course description of English 102 from the QCC catalog. So the catalog tells us that the course is 3 class hours, 1 recitation hour, 3 credits. The prerequisite is English 101. And the description of the course is continued practice in writing combined with an introduction to literature, fiction, drama, and poetry. During the recitation hour, students review basic elements of writing and analytical and critical reading skills and research strategies. So to get into what our particular English 102 course will be about, because that's a very general statement about the course from the catalog, each 102 is taught a little bit differently. So let's focus on what our 102 course will be about. And I start with 2 quotes, one from a historian by the name of Barbara Tuchman, and she says, "Books are humanity in print." The second quote comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson, a 19th century American essayist and poet, and he says there is creative reading as well as creative writing. What is literature? Why do we need literature? Why is literature so important? According to Barbara Tuchman, literature contains the essence of humanity on the blank page, revealing the human condition, all our history, knowledge, information, perceptions, observations, feelings, philosophies, stories, ideas, through the power of carefully crafted words. In this course, we'll explore the literary genres of poetry, fiction, and drama through this humanistic lens. In addition, we'll note the ways scholars, historians, and critics have grouped works from a certain time frame, works that represent philosophical, intellectual, political, and artistic trends of a specific point in time, and label these works as being part of a period or a movement. And along the way of our literary exploration, we'll also question the choices a writer makes when creating a text, how he or she shapes the artistic work, and how we read literature. Becoming creative readers, as Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, will read, discuss, and write about literature, incorporating other points of view while analyzing a literary text. We'll actively engage in a dialogue with writers to develop a deeper insight into ourselves, others, and the world we live in to discover humanity in print. Next, we have the general education outcomes, which you could take a look at on your own. And I'm going to skip to the learning outcomes of our course. So by the end of English 102, you should be able to do these 7 things. 1, identify and apply literary terms, techniques, concepts, and aesthetic criteria to the evaluation of literary works. 2, evaluate literary texts and genres within their historical, philosophical, or cultural context as part of the human experience. 3, summarize, analyze, and synthesize diverse readings, including multidisciplinary academic articles, essays, literary works, or other relevant genres. 4, we have identify an intellectual question or problem worthy of further study through the process of reading, research, and writing. 5, differentiate relevant evidence throughout all writing tasks, including written texts, visual images, electronic media, and such primary sources as observations, interviews, and surveys. 6, use a variety of writing and revision strategies for generating, revising, editing, and proofreading writing. And 7, determine logical arguments and stylistic approaches appropriate to form or genre of writing, transitional language, progressive development of ideas, and so on. Next, we have the career-ready competencies that the course will help us to build or expand on. So the National Association of Colleges and Employers, the NACE, identified 8 career-ready competencies. So even though we have vastly different academic goals and careers in mind, This course will help us build on 7 of these competencies to be prepared for any career. So even though you might be struggling and wondering, okay, I have to take this English 102 course, but it's not really going to help me in my career or my goals. Actually, the course will help you to build on these 7 career-ready competencies, such as critical thinking, problem solving, oral written communications, teamwork, collaboration, information technology application, leadership, professionalism, work ethic, global multicultural fluency. Next, we have a section about me, your professor. I'm Tammy Rothman, but please call me Professor Rothman. There's a little mini bio there about me that you could read on your own. Next, we have contacting me. Of course, you can send me an email at trothman@qcc.cuny.edu from your QCC email account every day. But if you have like basic questions about the class or an assignment, you can post these questions in the class questions forum on the discussion board, and I'll answer these questions in the forum. Also, while I do check my emails on a regular basis, I've really been trying to maintain a healthy work-life balance, which is hard to do when you're teaching online classes, but I've been trying. So the way I've been trying to do this is by going to bed at an early hour. If you send me an email after 9 p.m. or if you send me an email on a Sunday, I will not be able to respond immediately. So if you do send me an email after 9 p.m. or on a Sunday, you'll receive a response from me by 9 a.m. on the next day. I'll also hold regular online office hours via Blackboard Collaborate on Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. And you can drop in with any questions or concerns then. So course delivery and technology requirements. This online course will be asynchronous. So this means that we'll not have class meetings at specific times. Instead, you'll complete the work on your own according to weekly deadlines every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, unless stated otherwise on the schedule. Furthermore, you must have reliable technology to complete this course, such as a good internet connection and a computer or tablet that can access QCC's online platforms. You'll turn in all coursework through Blackboard, not email, and be prepared to devote at least 2 to 3 hours a week to this course. If you don't have your own computer or tablet that you can use for this class, you can request one from QCC, and I included the link on the syllabus where you can go to request this tablet. There's a little section about how you can access the course. Take a look at that. If you have difficulties, there's a link that you can access to the help desk. Required text. So you'll be required to purchase one book for this course, Carol Capex RUR. All the other readings are posted on the course's Blackboard page. So I think to get the most out of these readings, you might find it beneficial to print out the readings. Course policies. So first we start with something called netiquette. There is something called etiquette, right? Those are guidelines for behavior. The same is true for netiquette. Those are guidelines of communication in an online learning environment. And we have some guidelines here that I outlined for us, such as using proper English, paying attention to grammar, punctuation, and spelling, even when you email me. Profanity is never acceptable. Also avoid slang, avoid acronyms like BTW, LOL, or emojis. Writing in all caps is shouting, so please no shouting. Do not overuse exclamation points. I'm guilty of this, so I have to keep track of this netiquette for myself. Think before you write. Ask yourself if your message is coherent. If you're not sure, read it to someone else before posting or sending it. Make sure you're clear and concise. Use short paragraphs, 3 to 5 sentences. They're much easier to read online. Proofread, proofread, and proofread. So the next 2 bullet points are about the QCC academic integrity policy and also an important point about plagiarism. Please read these, take a look at these. There is a link to the QCC policy on plagiarism. And if you have any questions about the policy, please email me. You could also post your question in the class questions forum on the discussion board. Also, just a note about plagiarism. since we are working in an online environment, you might be tempted to simply do a Google search and copy and paste someone else's ideas about a reading and use that to represent your own interpretation of the work. And not only are you not learning anything and not getting anything out of the course, if you do that, you're not practicing your reading and writing and critical thinking skills. And also plagiarism, it destroys trust among colleagues, which is integral to the safe communication of research and work products. So avoid plagiarism at all costs. We are going to use Turnitin, which is a tool. It's a digital detection program that reviews student work for plagiarism. So you'll be asked to upload formal essays to Turnitin so your work can be checked against web pages and databases of existing essays. So you may never have engaged in intentional plagiarism. Many students do incorporate sources without citations because they're not quite sure how to use outside sources. This program can help you better understand when citations are needed. So please consider the use of the program as a learning tool and not as a punitive measure. Next, we have participation and attendance. So even though this course is online, it will be interactive and require a high level of participation. Completion of all online assignments is required. Since this is an asynchronous class, I'll not keep track of your presence at meeting times like in a traditional face-to-face classroom. Instead, participation in class will now require working online weekly, submitting activities and quizzes, and participating on the discussion forum. In other words, your completion of these online assignments will let me know you are participating and engaged in the class. So if you miss more than 15% or about 2 weeks worth of these weekly assignments, you're at risk of failing the course. Essentially, do the work each week. Complete your readings and online assignments because they really do count. But if circumstances arise that cause you to miss this work and fall behind, please talk to me. I am here to help, but I can help only if I know that you need it. Next, we'll look at late submission of work. In the workplace, failure to complete reports, projects, and other assigned tasks on time can result in a loss of clientele, reprimands, missed opportunities for advancement, reductions in pay, and even termination. Likewise, there are consequences for missed deadlines in this course. Late work will be subject to a 5% reduction on your total score for each day the assignment is late. However, responses to the discussion forum will not be accepted late for any reason. For additional information about the discussion forum, please see the course assignments and grading section. And you may also take a look at the 2 videos called Discussion on Discussions Part 1 and Part 2. In the event of an emergency, or if you are having difficulty with an assignment or experience circumstances that will prevent you from submitting work on time, please speak with me as soon as possible. And the withdrawal deadline is December 14th. There is a little section here on sexual harassment. Please take a look at that on your own. And if you have any questions, you can email me or post them in the class questions forum on the discussion board. So I'm going to end this part of the syllabus review, and be sure to take a look at part 2 of the syllabus review, where we'll go over pages 6 to 11. Bye for now.